Okay. It's on the study disc. What? All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. This is Brandon coming to you with something just a little bit different today. I'm taking a look, believe it or not, at an episode of Sailor Moon. I have never watched Sailor Moon before. I know what it is. I've seen it everywhere. People who watch it tend to be real fanatics about it. I have never seen it, though. I know what Sailor Moon looks like, seen right here. I don't know really any of the other characters or anything like that, or even what it's about, but there's a couple of episodes of Sailor Moon that keep coming up, particularly about the Cram school. And I know there's different versions of Sailor Moon, and they're called different things, but this one is where she goes to the Cram school. I see her in this random still frame with the cat here. And again, sorry, if you're a fan of Sailor Moon, I don't know any of the characters except for Sailor Moon herself, so it's going to be a bit of a learning process, but I plan to look at the scene specifically where she's in school at the Cram school, whatever that is. I'm just going to figure it out as I go. I'm not going to take a look at the whole entire episode, but certainly the scenes where she's studying at this school. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, take a minute and click the button below, particularly if you enjoy my content. I do greatly appreciate it. Let's get into the episode. Okay. All right, here we go. Math class, I guess. Okay. And I was kind of wondering, I saw a mix of English and Japanese writing. It looked like most of it was in English, actually, as far as what was written there. And I don't know, again, who any of these characters were. At first, I was like, did she write that entire thing? Like the blackboard was full of various equations and mathematical expressions and stuff up there. And then she got her paper back and it said perfect. I'm not sure what is going to happen here, but let's move forward.
Hey, you know that girl Mizuno? From class 5? I heard that she has an IQ of 300.
What? Seriously?
All she does is study, even during lunch period and recess. Isn't that sad?
Now that you mention it, I don't think she has friends either.
Wow.
She never talks to anyone.
That's her, I guess.
Oh, that's her.
So, Usagi, how did you do on the test? You don't want to know. My scores were a disaster. Aren't they always? What's that supposed to mean?
Okay. All right, here's the intro. So I'm not going to play the full intro because it tends to cause copyright issues, but I'm familiar particularly with the original. I know this is a different version of it, and I had a couple of comments on the little intro they had. They said she had an IQ of 300. I don't know off the top of my head what the IQ scale is for the actual IQ test. That seems pretty insane to have an IQ that high. I didn't know it went that high. I don't even know that it does. I'm sure that information is up on the screen right now, but that is kind of insane. And then this is not my favorite thing with the whole style when they were coming out and just laughing and giggling all the time, but I'll do my best here. Let's keep going.
Welcome home, Usagi.
Luna, you don't have to keep an eye on me every second, you know.
Of course I do. You haven't been Sailor Moon very long, Usagi.
Okay.
There's lots to learn.
Okay,
the
okay.
next enemy could show up at any time.
And I'm sorry, I didn't know the cat talked, so that sort of caught me off guard. And again, I feel like I have to apologize to all the Sailor Moon fans because it's just not my thing, but I'm going to do the best I can here. I did not know this cat was going to talk, so that sort of caught me off guard. Let's keep going. Oh, looking her up.
Ami Mizuno in class 5 is so smart. I heard she's the top-ranked student in the entire country. Wow, she must be a real genius. Hey, don't worry. No one expects you to get scores like that. I know, but did you really have to say it?
And this brings up an interesting topic. I talk about this sometimes when I just have conversations with people about the education systems in different countries. So here in the United States, you don't have these national rankings, really rankings at all as far as students' academics go, because education is much more locally controlled. In other words, your local school district or your county. If you're here in the U.S., you know what I'm talking about. We do have the United States Department of Education, but that entity does not really have any direct control. They have influence, and certainly a lot of funding comes from the federal government in the form of title programs, but they really don't have any influence or direct control. It's the local school board that has all of that, which is why if you're in the U.S., if there's some sort of controversy about something a local school district is doing, it's that local school board that gets all of the attention, sometimes negative attention, depending on what's going on. So you see, they walk up to this giant board and there's these rankings or whatever of students, and it sounds like they were discussing her national rank in all of Japan here. And of course, I can't read the kanji up there, but in some other countries, it is much more nationalized. You have your National Department of Education, which has much more direct control. You just don't have that here in the U.S., and we generally don't have these national rankings where students are compared to each other. Now, certain things are very competitive. In other words, entrance to certain universities, scholarships, certainly, entrance into various academic-based societies, but you don't have these national rankings like we're seeing here, but in many countries you may see that.
Did you say Crystal Seminar?
Crystal Seminar.
That cram school for the super smart kids?
Cram school, here it is.
I heard they recruited Mizuno pretty aggressively and even let her come extra hours to study more.
So the Crystal Seminar. So some of you mentioned in the comments about the Cram school, and here it is. I guess they're saying, well, she did so well, this other student, because she went to the Crystal Seminar or this Cram school. So I'm guessing that they're going to try to go to this thing to improve their grade. And really, it just seems like jealousy, like they're just jealous. And I do see this particularly among top performing students at various schools that I've been at, where you have sort of a rivalry that happens, especially if you're competing for honor graduate status or valedictorian or salutatorian, being top of your class. In other words, when you graduate, I have seen it get very competitive, and sometimes even apart from that, it's just like, you know, I want to be number one, or I want to be better than this person or that person. I have seen that before. I'm not sure if that's what's going on here, but this guy talks about this other student being recruited for the Crystal Seminar pretty aggressively and allowing her to come in. That does happen at universities sometimes, depending on what's going on with a particular student. If they have just really, really high grades, or if they are an expert in a particular area. In other words, if they're an athlete or they're really, really good at a specific thing that university wants to recruit them for, yeah, that does happen. I have been at a couple of schools in the past where, yeah, colleges would come, even prestigious colleges, and they would try to recruit individual people if they were impressed enough with their records. So that is a real thing.
She's already #1 in the country. How much smarter can she get?
#1 in the country,
Crystal
wow.
Seminar is the cram school over by the arcade, right?
The arcade.
My dad says it's expensive, and that only rich kids go there.
Mizuno's mom is a famous doctor, so she's pretty well off.
So she comes from money and she's a genius?
Wow.
She lives in a different world. Plus, she acts so cold and distant, like she doesn't want anyone near her.
What is it with this guy's eyes that's kind of crazy? And I'm sure you guys are really, really used to it. I'm just not. Again, never seen the show before. I'm not sure what's going on here. And they talk about the Crystal Seminar. I kind of laughed because they acted like it was very, very prestigious, but they're like, oh yeah, it's right beside the arcade. It doesn't sound so great when you say it like that. But they say that it's expensive and only the rich kids go there. And it is true that there are plenty of programs out there that provide additional support or tutoring or whatever. I've never heard one described quite like this Crystal Seminar or Cram School is being described, but those programs do typically cost money, or they're receiving some sort of grant funding from either the government or some private entity. But a lot of times you do have to pay. Particularly in larger cities, you'll see various little academic tutoring programs that take place after school, and typically you do have to pay for those. That's true. There she is.
Oh, these are horrible. Mom's gonna kill me for sure this time.
Her grades.
Luna?
Uh-oh.
What's she doing with the genius girl from class 5?
So some of this is just sort of over the top, and I can see she's starting to get a little jealous, particularly because her cat, she's petting her cat and just sort of having fun, and they have this little sound effect here. I can see where it's going. She's getting a little jealous of Mizuno because she seems to be super smart and rich and all that. And she needs to just focus on her own stuff, like Mizuno being number one or whatever. It doesn't affect her, at least it shouldn't, but she's allowing it to get to her, and I didn't really see what her grades were, nor would I maybe understand what the grading scale is here, but obviously they're not good based on what she said. Let's see what she does next here.
She doesn't seem cold and distant like everyone said she was.
Yeah?
I'm gonna go talk to her. You're so soft. Hello? Hi there. Is everything okay? That's my cat. Her name is Luna.
When she jumped down, it was like she fell out of the sky.
What?
At first, I thought she was an angel.
Okay, what does that mean? Like, that's never happened to me. If I see a cat that sort of comes out of nowhere, that would sort of startle me. But even so, like, I wouldn't describe it like that. It's just a little weird. She's like, oh, I thought it was an angel, and it's just so sweet. I just wouldn't do that. It's just sort of funny, this interaction here, the over-the-top style. But I did like one thing that she said. She said, well, she doesn't seem that bad. Everybody said she was stuck up or whatever. Yeah, that is sort of unfair. People get different reputations, and you want to have a positive one. And apparently people started talking sort of negative about Mizuno, and she's like, well, she doesn't seem all that bad. Let me go talk to her. And that's a good attitude to have.
You thought that cat was an angel?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, just ignore me. I'm not making sense. I'm sorry.
What's this? What in the world?
Oh,
What was that?
nothing. If I become friends with her, she can teach me how to study so I can do better on tests. Then I can be a genius too.
And that's not great. Like, I'm glad that she's not falling prey to the unfair criticism of Mizuno, but she says basically, like, I can take advantage of her abilities if I become friends with her. In other words, like, that's the reason I would want to be her friend, because of what she can do for me. That's not the greatest thing here, but let's see what happens.
I know. Hey, Mizuno, would you
The
like to
arcade.
come to the arcade with me today?
A little too much there.
Jump! Again! One more! Come on, Sailor V! Almost, you can do it! I lost again! Careful! That guy's pretty strong!
Nice.
No
Okay,
way!
so
You beat him! You're awesome, Mizuno!
What's going on over
she can play video games too, I guess.
Whoa!
Got a crowd there.
Is that the time? I have to go.
Do you mean to Cram School? You go
Cram
to that
School.
crystal seminar nearby, right?
Yes, I'll be going there every day from now on.
Every day?
Uh-huh. Studying is the only thing I'm good at.
Apparently not.
And since I want to be a doctor like my mom, I have to study a lot.
Wow! A doctor? That's so cool!
Is this dialogue?
Okay, then.
Okay, she's going to Cram School. What's this cat gonna do? Alright, so that's the Cram School. Alright, so this is the Cram School. I've never heard of something like that. It doesn't sound particularly good, because cramming, like, you know what cramming is. It's like studying a whole lot at the last minute right before a test or an exam or something like that. And it doesn't really have a positive connotation at all. It basically means that you didn't study along the way, or you don't know the material and you need to get it all at the last minute. That's not so much how they're using it here. It's just like additional study. And I have not seen a place for students like this. This looks like maybe an office of some kind. You've got your various little cubicles, and I saw it looked like people were doing some math problems here, and I'm not sure what's going on here, but I guess we'll find out. And in the dialogue they just had, she says, well, studying's the only thing I'm good at, but apparently she can do everything else perfectly, almost, including play video games. But let's see what this Cram School is all about.
We're very glad to have you here at Crystal Seminar.
Okay.
So we'd like you to have this exclusive Crystal Seminar study disc.
The study
You should
disc.
use it every day if you want to become a doctor.
What is a study
hard.
disc?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's on the study disc. What? And then it goes to this. I didn't expect that. This very, very positive little whatever. And she put the disc in, and then suddenly her eyes like went green, and the teacher had this little sinister laugh. I'm like, what is going on? This doesn't look particularly good. I don't know what to think about this, but let's keep going.
You guys want to go get some ice cream later?
That sounds great!
Count me in!
Okay.
Hey, Kuri! Want to come too?
4213 2.236.
What's up with Kuri?
I guess she's studying. She goes to Crystal Seminar
Crystal
now.
Seminar.
Seems like everyone goes there these days.
Is Crystal Seminar really that good?
I'm not
The
sure what's
lessons there
going
are
on
all
here.
taught by a special computer program. I heard it's actually fun.
Doesn't
Everyone
look
takes
fun.
the disc home with them.
The disc. So I have a few questions here that I'm guessing I'll find the answers to. So I'm starting to wonder what this is. Like, they're all going to this cram school and they're all getting this disc. But when the teacher gave Mizuno the disc, she said it was exclusive. In other words, she's the top student, so only she gets it. But is everybody getting this disc? And what actually is happening here? I'm not quite sure yet. What I saw on their screens looked like just math problems. So maybe it's nothing, but I'm not really sure what to think about this Crystal Seminar. Let's keep going.
Hi, Ami.
Tsukino, you startled me.
Want to come get ice cream with us later?
Yeah.
Study hard. We expect you to be a role model.
Looks scary.
Sorry, I can't go with you. I need to go study now.
Huh? That was strange.
Yeah, it was strange, and I'm not sure what's going on. I guess I'll find out. I'm wondering, like, what about her parents? Like, do her parents want her to do this, or is the cram school just sinister in its own right, and what exactly is happening? I have had students in the past that were really, really high performing, that sometimes people would put too much pressure on them, and it caused really negative consequences for them because it was just too much pressure, and they would have done fine if those putting the pressure on them would just have eased up just a little bit, not a lot, but just some, because it's fine to push students to do well, but you really have to watch that. You have to keep it in check and not go too far with that. Encouragement and motivation are good things, but it is possible to go too far with that.
Hey, Ami was acting weird just now.
Yeah?
She didn't seem like herself and she left in a big hurry.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Maybe we should go check up on her.
And I'm sorry, I'm just not used to this talking cat. It's kind of weird. Let's keep going.
Her disc.
Uh-oh.
Join Crystal Seminar
The disc.
now. There's no enrollment fee. Earn better grades and reach your full potential.
what is
Learning
this?
is fun with our state-of-the-art PC study program.
What's going on here?
We're advertising our new program. Would you like to take a flyer?
Oh,
What's
thank
going
you.
on?
So this is Ami's cram school. Nope, too weird. It's normal.
The way everyone's been acting, I was expecting more. These are just
got the
regular
disc.
questions.
Maybe this isn't the most recent version. Or if I hit random keys, I'll find something hidden.
I highly doubt it would be that easy, Usagi.
Yeah, me too.
A legendary be found. Sacrifice yourself. Your purpose is to serve and give energy to our great ruler. You will gather data on the legendary silver crystal. The crystal must be found.
That doesn't sound good.
It's some kind of brainwashing program.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, with the way they presented this disc and the teacher, it sounded like there was something a bit more nefarious going on. But when you look at the screen, it just looks like math problems. But yeah, that doesn't sound good at all and would explain some of the things that you sort of noticed earlier in the episode. I'm wondering what she's going to do with this disc or this information. Let's see. Okay, what's she going to do?
Luna, what do we do?
Yeah.
There's a way to get past them. Use your pen from the arcade.
Huh? You mean this?
You can use it to disguise yourself. Say moon power change.
Okay.
Power! Change me into a on now. Let's go. Excuse me!
Okay.
I received an urgent call. There's been an emergency. I need to get in there stat.
Why can't you solve the problems faster? That
Oh.
disc was designed especially for you.
Yeah, I don't like this. Why can't you solve the problems faster? That does not sound good, and it sounds like some of that inappropriate pressure I was talking about. I have seen that before, particularly with certain parents in previous schools where they basically wanted perfection, and anything less than that, they would get upset. Student would have other issues that came from that pressure. This is not good, but I understand there's some sort of other reason that she's doing this, not just for academics, but I don't know quite what that is yet. Let's find out.
By exploiting her intelligence, soon we'll be able to conquer all of Tokyo. No, all of Japan.
What in the world?
Then it will be easy to get our hands on the legendary silver crystal.
And I don't know what that is. I'm guessing maybe it'll tell me, or it might be one of those things I just have to watch more of this series in order to find out what the legendary silver crystal is. I really don't know. I'm sure you all know what that means, but I do not. And I'm also thinking, like, how is having her solve problems going to help them get this? Like, just doing math problems, how does that help? I don't really understand, unless it's somehow like siphoning power from her somehow. I know most of these shows are really mystical, and maybe that's what's going on. I'm not sure. Let's keep watching.
What is this? A pen?
Uh-oh.
Distractions will not be tolerated. You need to focus.
Oh, man. That's way
Sit
too
back
far.
down.
I'm here, Ami.
What the?
Okay. She just says, she comes in and she's just like, what the? And whacks her with whatever that was. It's like, what is going on? And I just noticed, like, are there no other students there? Like, all the other scenes where they had the cram school, every single last cubicle was filled with a student, and now apparently she's the only one? That's kind of odd.
Listen, Ami. This teacher tricked you. She's a fake. She's using you for something evil.
Yeah, she is.
I don't know what you're talking about, young lady.
I cracked the code on your special disc. I know there's a brainwashing program hidden in the background.
You meddler.
Oh my goodness. What is that? I don't know what that is. That's kind of crazy. And again, she cracked the code, quote unquote, by just pressing random keys. That's not very hard. I would think that if you have a secret school where you're secretly brainwashing people and exploiting them, that it would be a bit harder than that, and that these discs would be a bit more secure. But okay.
Quick, Usagi! Transform into Sailor Moon!
Transform.
Right in front of Ami?
It's okay, just hurry!
And I'm wondering, like, can the other girl here, can she not hear Luna the cat? The cat is, like, waving its paw around, like, telling her what to do. Like, no one else is able to notice that. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if other people are supposed to be able to hear it or not, but she's telling her to transform. I'm not sure what's about to happen here.
Moon Prism Power! Make up!
Okay. And I might not watch this whole sequence because it's going to take a minute, but I do know that much about the show is there's some sort of like transformation that happens. Again, never seen the show before. I just know what I have seen in various commercials and things, but let's keep going.
No!
Blasting her with papers or something?
Can't move.
What?
It's all over. No one can save you.
That's kind of crazy. So now she's back to normal?
Stay away! Someone help me! Don't hurt her!
Oh, wow. She's got some sort of power.
I knew it! Quick, Ami! You have to use your pen and transform!
Cat.
I'll explain later. Only you can save Usagi. Now say the words Mercury Power Makeup!
And look at this cat's face. Like, this cat... This is a cat of authority right here. Look at him. And I guess, like, she has powers too, but she didn't know that she did. And, like, if I was put in this situation and I had some sort of power I didn't know I had, and then a talking cat started telling me to say the words to transform into some mystical, otherworldly creature for the first time, and I've never done it before, I don't think I would be able to handle that, but apparently she's just fine with it. That's pretty funny. And I also thought it was funny that she was the teacher. Now she's some sort of monster. It's pretty scary, actually, but she is holding Sailor Moon down with, like, paper. I'm not sure quite how that works, but okay.
Hurry! I can't get free!
Held down by the paper. Okay.
She's gone.
Oh, yeah. What in the world?
It's him.
Where'd he come from?
Again.
Come on now, Sailor Moon. Hurry.
And I do know this guy is... I'm not sure. I know there's a tuxedo mask. I don't know if that's who this is, but he came out of nowhere. Like, where did he come from? He wasn't there before.
I see. It was all you're doing.
All
right, then. Guess we're gonna be good friends. I'd like that, Usagi. Sounds great.
Okay. What? I'm sorry. I'm just not used to the, giggling, and we're gonna giggle, and then she giggles, and it's just like a lot of that. But that's basically the end. Now they're friends, which, that's a good ending, because I remember at the beginning, it's like, oh, I'm jealous, and everybody's talking about her, and she's stuck up, or they think she is, but she's really not. A lot to talk about in this episode, actually, even though a lot of it was kind of mystical and kind of crazy. You all had told me in the comments of other videos about this cram school. I didn't know it was quite as sinister as that. Hopefully you all have never gone to a tutoring program like that, but I did sort of enjoy this one. It was a little different. Again, I'm not an anime fan, but this one wasn't so bad. Some of them I'm just really not a fan of. Others, like My Hero Academia, I've enjoyed. This one was okay, not too bad. It's not really my style, and this cat... Luna the cat was kind of the highlight for me. But thank you all for recommending this. Those of you that did, I enjoyed watching it. Hopefully you all enjoyed watching the school parts right along with me with this cram school, or what they call it, Crystal Seminar. It's kind of funny, but I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Once again, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please take a moment and click the button below to become a subscriber. I do appreciate that. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I'm going to end it here. I'll see you on the next video here on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.